Hello everyone, welcome back to my second lecture on mechanical estimation and costing. In our previous lecture, we have seen what is meant by estimation and costing along with some of the major differences between estimation and costing. Today we are going to discuss what are the aims of estimation. Aim is nothing but the purpose of doing. Whenever we do something, there is a purpose behind it. For example, when you conduct a tensile test by using a universal testing machine in a material testing laboratory, the aim is to determine the tensile strength. Similarly here, in industry when they carry out estimation, there are some aims which are listed here. The first aim is to find out the probable cost. As yesterday we have discussed what is estimation is. Estimation is a process of finding the probable cost or approximate cost of the project or any article before it is actually manufactured. So the main aim of the estimation is to determine the probable cost or approximate cost of a particular project so that profit can be determined. The second is to help the factory owner in deciding manufacturing and selling policy. Every company, every manufacturing industry have their selling and manufacturing policy. Selling policy involves what will be the profit, maybe 30%, 40%. That is a percentage on total cost, and ultimately then they will decide the selling price. That may be the selling policy a particular company has. Similarly, every industry possesses what? Manufacturing and selling policies. Without estimation, manufacturing and selling policies cannot be determined or cannot be decided. The third point is to help in filling up the tender inquiries. To understand this, you should know what is tendering process means. Tendering is a process where it's like an open invitation for bidding a particular project or for bidding for a particular work. In IPL, that is in Indian Premier League, we bid for a particular player. There are many franchises are there who bid for a particular player, and ultimately one franchise will get that player. Similarly, here in industry, to get a particular project, you have to bid it. And when you are bidding it, you have to first fill up the tender inquiries. That tender inquiries consist of what will be the total cost you are going to provide it and what will be the time of duration in which you can complete the work. For example, now if the government decide to construct roads, in this situation, government will ask many construction companies to fill up the tenders. Government will invite them to bid for the project. Now many companies will be in the queue, they will be in the race to get that project or get that work. So they have to fill the tender inquiries where they have to fill at what cost they may complete the project and what will be the time duration, and many more parameters are there. To fill up the tender inquiries accurately, your estimation should be accurate. Otherwise, if you overestimate it, then definitely you are not going to get that contract, and if you underestimate it, then definitely you will put yourself into the loss. So to fill up the tender inquiries, the accurate estimation is required, and that is one of the aim of estimation. The next is to decide about the wage rates of the workers by conducting time study. See, wage rates are nothing but the amount paid to the worker for their work. That is nothing but the wage rate. To complete a particular task, every worker performs day and night, and he gets the wages or he gets the payment for it. Now, to decide the wage rates, we need to conduct what? Time study. What is mean by time study? For example, when you carry out any operation, for example, you are drilling 20 holes in a particular slab. Now, time study involves observation of the operation and noting down the time by using time measuring instruments. In that, they will observe the operation carefully and they will note down what is the time required to complete those drilling of 20 holes. And they will take an average and they will obtain a standard time, that is to drill 20 holes of maybe 12 mm diameter, this much time is required, and accordingly they will decide the wage rates of a particular worker. Next is to decide about the amount of overheads. Overheads are nothing but expenses. In every industry, whenever there is any sort of work is going on, there are some expenses. These are called as what? Overheads. right? There may be a selling expenses, there may be a factory expenses, there may be an advertisement, there may be an administrative expenses. So many expenses are takes place whenever a project is going on. And to decide the overheads, they conduct what? Estimation process. Here, wherever the wastage is there, they can reduce the wastage and ultimately they can bring the total cost less and maximum profit can be obtained. The next is to decide whether particular component should be manufactured in a firm or should be brought it from the outside. For example, now a particular assembly section consists of nut and bolt. Means maybe that machine requires nut and bolt to assemble it. Now those nut and bolts can be manufactured in the firm itself or can be brought it from outside. Now if this manufacturing firm decide to produce nut and bolts, then they have to do the estimation of nut and bolts, and accordingly they will come to know the probable or approximate cost of one nut and bolt. Now for example, a particular nut and bolt, maybe M16 or M20, is available at a cost of maybe 25 rupees each. Now that is the cost market value of that nut and bolt which is already available in the market. Now if you produce the nut and bolts at your firm and if it is charging you 30 rupees, then there is no point of manufacturing in your firm. It's better to purchase it from the outside. This is called as what? Deciding whether a particular component should be manufactured in the firm or should be purchased from the outside. So these are some of the aims of estimation. In our next lecture, we will see what are the qualities and functions of an estimator. Thank you.